This is day 2 of CES. We are live with Terra, and now we're switching gears. We're going from all the fun materials we've been talking about to something that should be in everybody's mind. What happens to all these cool gadgets that you see at CES at end of life? With me, I have Stephen from Terra. What does Terra do, Stephen?
Well, Terra stands for the Electronics Reuse and Recycling Alliance.
Love it.
So, what we are is we're a global alliance of people working together to make sure that, all e-waste is handled in a sustainable manner. Everything that's going to be manufactured by all of these companies here at CES at some point is going to reach end of life.
Right.
So what happens at that point?
Right.
So first, what we try to make sure what happens is that the material goes to a place where it's going to be recycled responsibly. And that's using either an R2 or an E-Steward certified reuse and recycling specialist. So that's what we bring to the table, was what we're offering a network of now upwards of 115 facilities across mostly North America, but also in 8 countries across the globe, is to make sure that we're handling this material, we're bringing it in, refurbishing what needs to be refurbished, and recycling what's at end of life.
And where I come into this thing is we have a bunch of our customers that are like saying, hey, I care what people do with my devices, or they also say, put more recycled plastic into the plastic that you sell me. So from a Covestro perspective, we are looking for this, I call it a feedstock, you might call it recycled material. And therefore, I see a lot of potential synergy. The point that I'm trying to make is that we have customers that are extremely interested in how to make this thing happen. And it's not an easy task.
It's not. So we've got several programs that we put in place to help make that easier. And the one program that we have that really anybody can tap into is what we call Done With It.
Done With It.
So Done With It is kind of multi-headed. We've got on-site collection programs with organizations, and then we do a mail-in recycling program. So for brands, that's a really important thing. If I'm a headset manufacturer, I want to make sure that the material that I'm creating, when people are done with it, it goes to a place to get recycled responsibly, and that material can be recycled, collected, put back into the supply chain. So that's what we do with our mail-in program, is that we work with brands to provide those opportunities for their customers to mail in product. If it's a lot of product, more than can be put it inside a small box, or up to actually a box up to 150 pounds.
Wow.
Is we have 115 facilities. They've got trucks. We can go out there and pick material up, and because we have such a big footprint that nobody else has, we can make that logistics short. We can make sure that the material gets to the right place to be handled properly.
I'm loving this. What kind of big? So I'm John, and John has a bunch of devices at home, and I very well will log on and look at Done With It and get a box and put all my things in there and send them to you. But what about big organizations? Give me some examples of the types of big organizations that you work with.
So again, it's a multi-headed program that Done With It is. So we're doing a mail-in project with Federal Express.
Right.
So right now, Federal Express, they operate a R2 V3 certified facility just outside of Nashville, and with them, we're collecting laptops and tablets. It's a consumer project where they're seeing if they can bring this material in. They're taking good material and sending it to their digital inclusion program, and they're taking end-of-life scrap and their parts harvesting, chips, batteries, and making sure that material gets recycled. And then we're working, on an on-site collection program with Walmart. We have 110 stores as a beta test for them in Tennessee, Northern Alabama, Eastern North Carolina, where from the week before Thanksgiving till just this past Friday, we were collecting used string lights. So we've got tens of thousands of pounds of that material coming in, and we're working with their logistics team to make sure it gets to one of their regional distribution centers. We're picking it up, we're bringing it to our local recycler to be handled properly. And because we've got, again, the footprint, we can do this kind of work anywhere.
Right. And to me, you're talking about the flexibility that you have. Of course, in the case of things like the case study, the closed loop study that we did with Dell, we are very focused on very specific types of plastic. And as I understand it, those can also be part of your efforts for recovery, right? So one of the things that I want to make sure that our viewers understand is that they don't have to focus just on what's happening right now, but what could happen down the road. And that, to me, is where this whole thing can grow and we can scale.
Absolutely. Because you got to start thinking about, what does the future look like? Where are you going to be harvesting materials from?
Right.
And, you want to start working with brands who are also going to be, their customers are going to start demanding the materials that they're creating at least have an option to be sustainably recycled. Too many brands still are just manufacturing devices, putting them out there, no way to get them back. So those OEMs are going to be responsible for providing some mechanism, and Done With It is a perfect play for that, to be able to bring this material back. And then as more material starts to come in, and the value of certain of the material like plastics and others that aren't necessarily valued by our recyclers, but valued by other players in the industry, we can start collecting more volumes of it.
Exactly. And that is, you just made my day, because that's the message that I want to give to my customers when I talk to them, that don't focus on what's happening today, focus on how it could be in the future and how good it could be.
Yes.
Closing thoughts.
Well, it's always going to be certification matters. So whenever you're working with or need e-waste or e-scrap or e-recycling services, look for somebody who's R2, look for somebody who's e-stewards. And the easiest way to do that is just contact Terra. Jointerra.org is our industry connection. And if you're looking for our programs, look for us at donewithit.org.
I'm loving this. Again, as I said, stay tuned, folks. There's probably more coming your way related to this in the near future. If you have ideas, please get in touch with us. We'd love to hear what you want to do. Back to you.